Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written a different journey for everyone. Some people have one function and one role to play in the world, others have a completely different role and function. And the lives of these people will be completely different. The challenges, the difficulties, and the achievements of each type will be distinctly different from the others. That's why we cannot use one yardstick to measure all human beings and their worth or their contributions. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, as we know, had two sons, Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein, but these were not his only children. He also had a daughter by the name of Zaynab. And Zaynab bint Ali radiallahu anha was born in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She used to play with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. He was very affectionate towards her. And she was in fact with him when he alayhi salatu wasalam went for Hajj. She was about 5 years old at that time. When she was about 6 years old, the Prophet ﷺ passed away. And 6 months after the Prophet ﷺ's passing away, her mother Fatima radiallahu anha also passed away. So now she was almost entirely in the care of her father Ali radiallahu anhu, who looked after her, taught her, trained her. And very quickly she picked up not just immense knowledge from Ali radiallahu anhu, but also his manner of speaking. Ali radiallahu anhu is known as one of the greatest orators in the history of Islam, one of the greatest speakers. He was so eloquent and graceful and powerful in his words that it would make the people who were listening completely change their minds, and it would shake them right down to their very core. So Zaynab radiallahu anha inherited this from Ali radiallahu anhu. And as her life story demonstrates, she used this, and she used it in the best way, in the most noble way possible. The first thing is that because she had a lot of knowledge, and she became addressed as one of the great women scholars of that time. Even in the time of Ali radiallahu anhu, when she moved from Medina to Kufa after being married, she had her own halqa of dars there, and she used to teach fiqh and she used to teach tafsir. In fact, once Ali radiallahu anhu came back home where she was conducting this halqa of tafsir for women, and he overheard what she was saying. She was doing tafsir of Surah Maryam, and Ali radiallahu anhu was so impressed. After the session was over, he told her that, "My daughter, I was listening to you, and I'm so proud that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you this knowledge in such a beautiful way. You were explaining the verses of the Quran." Now, during her stay in Kufa, something very tragic happened, and that was that her father, Ali radiallahu anhu, was murdered. And he was killed at the hands of a Khariji by the name of Abdurrahman ibn Muljim. So this is where I was saying Allah has different journeys written for different people and a different role to play. It seems like Zaynab radiallahu anha's role was to speak the truth in front of zalims, in front of wrongdoers. So that's what she did in the face of Abdurrahman ibn Muljim. She told him what a loathsome and what a worthless man he was, and what a terrible thing he had done, to make him realize, to convey that last message of his deeds and the outcome of his deeds. Even though he did not take that message very seriously, but she made sure that she conveyed to him what he had done and what the outcomes were going to be. After this, sometime later, she moved back to Medina, and she resided there until another very tragic event happened, and that was when Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anhu was urged by people of Kufa to come. They were ready to accept him as their Khalifa, and they were ready to pledge allegiance at his hands. It was all a big deception, and there were many different elements involved in that. It's a very long story. But she joined her brother Hussein radiallahu anhu on that journey. And she was there when they went through that extreme thirst and hunger, and she was by his side when his own children were slain, And that entire caravan of the family of the Prophet ﷺ fought till the only one remaining was Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anhu. And she witnessed it all. And she witnessed her nephews being killed. And she witnessed her brother being killed, fighting valiantly to the end. And at the end it was basically just her and one of the sons of Hussein radiallahu anhu, whose name was Ali ibn Hussein. He was too sick. So he was there in the tent. He was not able to get up. He was not able to fight. After that event was over, she was one of the people taken as captive. And before she allowed that to happen, she told the leader of that army that had come from Sham, that had come from Syria, that how he, what kind of person did he think he was to allow this to happen to the family of the Prophet ﷺ. It even made him cry. Even that man cried, Umar ibn Sa'd, but by then it was too late to do anything. Then they were taken as captives and they were brought to Kufa, where thousands of people had gathered to see what had happened. So there in front of that entire crowd, she raised her voice and she spoke to them and made them realize what a great mistake they had made and how this is going to affect them for generations to come. With that beautiful eloquence and those skills of oration, she made them listen to the message of Haqq. After that, she was brought into the presence of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, who had masterminded that entire operation at Karbala, that entire tragedy at Karbala. He was the one who had masterminded it, and he was responsible for it. So in his face also she spoke the truth, and she told him what a vile and what an evil man he was. And she said, what will you do to us now? He said, well, I can do this to you, I can do that to you. This Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad even wanted Ali ibn Hussein, who was a young boy at that time, he wanted him killed. She said, okay, fine, if you're going to kill him, then you have to kill me along with him. And she held her nephew, and she held on to him, she said, you have to kill us both. Then he realized that this has gone too far. So he let them go. Eventually she was brought in front of Yazid, who had, behind the scenes fought against this blessed family of the Prophet ﷺ. And even in the face of Yazid, she spoke the truth, she uttered the truth, and she made him realize what a mistake he had made. So this woman, who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had stripped of everything, she lost her grandfather, she lost her mother, then she lost her father, and she lost her brother, her entire family. But that did not deter her from staying firm on the truth. She didn't say, oh, wow, life is terrible. She didn't sit there feeling sorry for herself. Oh, I've lost everything. She never really had time to mourn. Every opportunity she used as an occasion to speak the truth, to stay firm on the truth, even though she lost everything in the process. It did not allow her to waver from haqq. It did not allow her to waver from speaking haqq. And she remained steadfast on that till her last minute in life. So sometimes we learn things from these people that we cannot learn from anyone else. But if you want to learn the lesson of steadfastness and the lesson of speaking the truth no matter what the circumstances are, and staying aligned with and loyal to the truth no matter what you lose in the process, then Zaynab bint Ali radiallahu anha is someone that we can learn all of that from. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also give us the ability to first of all understand the truth and to see the truth and to align ourselves with the truth and to live our lives and end our lives along with the truth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give